My name is Jesus Verdeja. I'm the Director of Multiple Myeloma Research at the Sarah Cannon Research Institute in Nashville, Tennessee, United States of America. I was pleased to present the CARTITUDE-1 results at this year's ASCO meeting, and I'm happy to provide you a summary of those results. This was a CARTITUDE-1 is the name of the study, and it's a phase 1b/2 study of JNJ-4528, which is a BCMA-directed CAR-T-cell in patients with relapsed refractory myeloma. First, a little bit about JNJ-4528. This is a second-generation CAR-T, so it's very similar to the other CAR-T therapies that you have heard about, but it distinguishes itself in that it has two BCMA-targeting single-chain antibody binding domains. And what that means is that it presumably can bind to two different portions of BCMA and have a sort of much tighter grip on the molecule. The construct is the same as that was presented in the LEGEND-2 study at ASH of last year. So 29 patients were enrolled into the phase 1b study. They received a median dose of 0.72 times 10 to the 6 CAR-viable T cells per kilogram. And that's about 50 to 60 million cells if you want to compare it to some of the other BCMA-targeted products. So it's a much lower dose than given in others. Patients had cytokine release syndrome, which is now to be expected, but most of it was grade 1 and 2, very easy to manage and reversible. Very few patients had grade 3 or higher CRS. The other interesting thing is that the time to CRS was late. It was 7 days in most other products so far. The median time to CRS onset is 1 to 2 days. Neurotoxicity is the other toxicity that we worry about, and that was very infrequent, and when it did occur, it was low grade, with only one patient having grade 3 or higher neurotoxicity. Patients did have low blood counts, but most of these resolved, and no patients went beyond 60 days with low blood counts, and there were no odd infections that were detected in this study. JNJ-4528 was very active. We saw a 100% response rate in the 29 patients who were heavily pretreated with median 5 lines of prior therapy. 86% of the patients had stringent complete remission, and 97% of the patients had at least a very good partial remission. And this is with a median follow-up of 11.5 months. We had 16 patients in complete remission that had samples available for MRD assessment, and that's minimal residual disease. And 81% of these patients were MRD negative at 10 to the minus 5, and 69% were MRD negative 10 to the minus 6, which again are very impressive numbers. And of course, we haven't reached the median progression-free survival, but at 9 months, the progression-free survival was 86%. So this JNJ-4528 now has received breakthrough therapy designation by the FDA and is, I think, one of the front runners to potentially get FDA approval over the next year. The phase 2 portion of this study is fully enrolled, and so hopefully we'll be presenting those results soon to you. Phase 2 and 3 studies are now being initiated with this CAR-T product in earlier phases of treatment.